Good morning, everyone. Sorry, my bad. I started the meeting and I saw it is 8:59 and I've got no attendees yet. And I started wondering what's wrong. And then I saw I started the wrong meeting. So sorry about that. Glad you guys can join us. If you can give me just 1 or 2 more seconds just to get everything sorted, and then we will start. Thanks. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Rual from Hikvision up in Joburg. Um, Today, we're going to do 2 topics, but it's 2 short topics. So I'm not going to keep you busy for too long, and that's why we decided to make it 2 topics instead. So today, we will look at video intercom, as well as after this presentation, I'm going to have another presentation of the alarms, a little bit about the alarm market, as well as some of the ranges and so forth that we have to offer. And then Damon will take over and give us a bit of a live demo on the operation side of the intercoms. So glad you can join. Thank you very much. As usual, we are recording. Let me just check. Yeah, we are recording this session. And what we've done now is we are uploading it to YouTube. I think I sent out the YouTube link to everyone last night. So we will just update it to YouTube as and when it's ready. And then you can just always use the same link to download it from. So if you haven't yet received the YouTube link, I will send it out again, or just pop me a mail and I will forward it to you. And there you will find all the videos that we've recorded since we started with the sales and operation training on the first Friday. I can't remember when it was, a couple of Fridays ago. All right, anyway, let's quickly start with the video intercom, and let's see what we've got in store for you. All right, so video intercom products. There's a few on screen there, but it's obviously not limited just to that. But we're going to talk a little bit more about them and what we have in store. Okay, so we've had some existing models and so forth before, but they've been upgraded now, and we've got a few more added to the range. Things like our award-winning red dot intercom or indoor station. This is now based on standard PoE, where our previous range was based on a proprietary 24 volt PoE, so you couldn't just plug it in onto any 24. But yeah, so this one, the new range is now standard 48 volt PoE. So if you have an existing PoE system, PoE infrastructure, you can plug this into your standard infrastructure and it'll be compatible. So not just for the monitor, but the whole new range is now 48 volt PoE standard. So there's a couple. I'm not going to go through each and every one. We are going to discuss a few of them as we go through the presentation, just to give you a better idea. So we've got from ultra indoor station, professional, apartment door station. So this is a very modular design. the Ultra Villa door station. So this is more for the home use or maybe small businesses and so forth, the professional range. Two-wire product, which is quite exciting, and something that makes it quite nice and easy to sell or buy and install is kits. So we've got kit forms as well, and everything you need is going to be inside the box, but I will show you a little bit later. All right, let's quickly have a look and see. So we've got the second generation IP video intercom. This is now, like I mentioned, on standard PoE, so standard 48-volt PoE. And what it does now is obviously you link your door station through your network to your indoor stations. The camera integration is already done, so I can view up to 16 cameras on an indoor station. Can be linked to a back-end system, so a 4200 or even a central. Have a master station. This is mainly for control rooms, maybe in the estate or apartment blocks and so forth. You can contact them, they can contact you, and also up to 5 apps. So 5 Hikconnect apps per family that you can link to your own indoor stations and so forth. So that's like a mobile indoor station. All right, the next one, it looks very, very similar. The main difference is this is a 2-wire IP system. So the 2-wire IP system is there to replace the old 2-wire analog intercoms that used to run on 2 wires only. The problem with those things is that sometimes you can't replace the cabling. You have to trench again and all those kind of things. And sometimes not really possible to trench again and put in new cabling. So what we've done, we developed an IP intercom system that runs on 2 wires only. And over the 2 wires, you've got your power, your video, and your audio over the 2 wires. So you need this 2-wire IP distribution, which means that you can use the existing infrastructure, the existing 2 wires. Everything happens over the 2 wires. It makes it an IP system due to this distributor box that we've got that links you to your network infrastructure and ultimately internet, which gives you a full-on IP video intercom system with the same functionalities as a normal IP video intercom system. So you can see still the same cameras, master station, back-end systems, the apps, all those kind of things. And by the way, this is compatible with the normal IP intercom system as well. So you can have a mix of the 2 different systems in one installation. All right, so the modular door station, this is a fantastic new intercom unit that we've got. We're going to start off with the main unit. So you always need this guy over here. This has got your camera built in, it's got your speaker, your microphone, and it includes a button there. And then you can upgrade it or expand it with extra modules. Depending on your installation or your requirements, your customer's requirements, you might need to add a keypad module or extra buttons or multiple sets of extra buttons or indicator module or whatever the case might be. So you can upgrade it and build it to the size and features that you want. So let's quickly go through them. The display module it's got an LCD display on there with navigation buttons on the right hand side here, so that you know that if you need this, maybe have a keypad module, you can scroll through to the person's details that you want to contact, and you punch in the code. That'll tell you exactly what to punch in, maybe *01 or whatever to contact that person. It'll ring through. So it's a nice little display unit instead of having to write details on a little paper card for hundreds of people. So you can upgrade. So if you want to have 6 buttons extra, all these things links via RS-485 back to the main unit. So that's your keypad module, your name tag module. We also have blanks. So let's say you only need 4 of these buttons. We've got blanks as well that you can blank off some buttons, just not to confuse the end user. EM card reader module built in, which means that you can use an access control, a MyFair 1 card, to gain access to this door, like with a normal access control system. So you can add that, sorry, that's the EM card, and there's a MyFair 1 card. So we've got both options for the access control. You swipe a card, you can open the door from there. The indicator module is quite nice. It'll show you that maybe a call is in progress, it's ringing, or the door's being opened, or whatever. It's a nice indication module that you have there. And depending on your configuration, you might have a blank spot that you need to fill inside maybe one of these frames. Maybe let's say you only use, let's say 2 of these brackets, and you only need 5 holes. Then the 6th one you can blank off with a blank module there to make it look nice. Now, speaking of the brackets, we've got surface mounting and we've got flush mounting, which means you can embed it and make it flush with the walls or wherever you build it into. So both types of brackets available, and then also rain shields available for them. So this configuration makes it modular, right? So it makes it very modular. You add whichever unit you want and expand it to the size that you want. Fashionable design. It looks very, very nice. It's got a 2 megapixel IP camera built into the main unit with a 180-degree WDR camera. So an extremely wide angle, and it's got proper WDR built in. So if you have harsh lighting conditions, it should be able to handle that. Then we've got the PoE, like I mentioned before, PoE version, normal standard 48-volt PoE, or you have the 2-wire option as well, like I just mentioned on the previous slide. And like I said, you can have a combination between these two systems. The other nice feature about this new system is that it's got dual lock control, which means I can wire or I can connect it to 2 different locks, maybe a main gate opening and a pedestrian gate opening or something like that, but I can control 2 locks from these devices individually. Okay, that was the outdoor side. This is the indoor side. So the indoor side, we've got the Pro Series indoor stations, a 7-inch touchscreen indoor monitor for both IP and the 2-wire system. It looks exactly the same. It's just the different ways of connecting it. And then we've got the Ultra Series. This is the guy that we won the Red Dot Award for in 2017. Fantastic design for this, also 7-inch touchscreen. And then we've got the Ultra Series. Now this is about it's a 10-inch system. So everything is a little bit enlarged, maybe for old age homes and things like that, where small buttons and small things is not really possible for them to click and press on and whatever. This enlarges it, but it's got the same functionality as these guys over here. So just a larger version with a larger interface. Now, there are different brackets available. So your surface mount or your wall mount type of brackets, but we also have a desktop mount type of bracket, which means you can put it down on a reception desk or something like that. That makes it easier for maybe a receptionist to open up a gate or something like that. Now, feature-wise, this new second generation intercom has got a 4-step setup wizard. Really, in 4 steps, you can be set up and working. There's no major configurations that you have to do. It comes basically plug and play out of the box. You just have to activate it with a password. And then depending on the configuration that you need, up to 4 steps, and then you're good to go. eConnect app functionality, so we can do remote call, so you can receive a remote call. You don't have to be at home or at the premises to receive a call. It'll dial through to your eConnect app if you'd like, and you can have your video and audio conversation, and then also be able to unlock the door from there. Very fashionable design, and again, that's what we won the award for, due to the design and so forth. These units have got alarm inputs and output, which means that we can connect third-party alarm detectors to these monitors on the inside. So it's got alarm panel functionality built in as well. So it's like a 2-in-1. And then obviously the PoE and the 2-wire system that you can choose between, depending on the installation and the environment that you want to install it in. All right, this is the Villa door station. So the Villa door station, more for home use and so forth. This guy comes with a 1-button only. It's got a built-in card reader as well, and obviously the camera and microphone and speaker, everything built into this. And there's also a rain shield available for it. This is a plastic version. Then we have a metal version of the Villa series, slightly different model number, KV8, and that one's a KV6 series. But similar functionality, although this one you can upgrade to, you get them in a 1, 2, and a 4-button variances. Also, again, card reader built in, microphone, speaker, wide angle lens, camera. But what's nice about this is that we do have Wi-Fi options. All right, that means that you don't have to run cabling to these guys. It does a Wi-Fi connection, which means that normally you would just tap off 12-volt wire, 12-volt from your gate motor or something like that, and then have a wireless connection back into your premises. So no cabling is needed for this. The other specs of this the system has got a 2-megapixel wide angle. So the angle is slightly less than the other one. It's 130 degrees or 129 if you want to be exact, but still much wider than your average intercom systems. Right, IP65, IK10. IK10 is for this guy because it's metal type. This one is plastic, so this is not IK10. Sorry, IK8. So this is the metal version, and again uses standard PoE. So if you have PoE running to where these guys sit, then you can just connect it up onto that. All right, the next one, a couple of highlights. I spoke of the WDR functionality in the camera. So it's a full 2 megapixel true WDR, which means it's hardware and software that runs on the camera to be able to achieve WDR. You can see there without and with WDR functionality. We've got the Wi-Fi options. So you've got options that is Wi-Fi capable and some not, depending on what you need. So you can see the wider angle. So most competitors got a 90-degree angle about for the camera. We have 129 degrees there, so much wider. It's less difficult for a guy to, or it's more difficult for somebody to hide from the camera. And also a nice new feature on the second generation intercom systems, it's web-based configurable. So you can open up a browser and configure it from there. All right, and then the kits. This is nice and handy. The kits, you know that you get everything inside the box. You don't have to wonder, should I get this, should I get that, what is compatible, what's needed, this, that, whatever. So there are kits available. So you can see the 602 includes your indoor station, your outdoor station, plus a PoE switch and an SD card. The SD card is for these units to take your snapshots, and if somebody presses the button, it'll take a snapshot and save it onto the SD card, etc. So when you get back home, maybe you missed a call on your HeConnect app or whatever, you can come back and review the history and see who was at your door. And the same thing goes for all of these. The rest of the units got the SD card capability. This is a kit form, but for the two-wire system. So a two-wire system comes with a two-wire distribution box there that makes it IP. And then the 6 series Villa door station comes with a little power supply. That's what the P stands for over there. The P over here again for the power supply. This is the 8 series door station there. Similar functionality to this guy, except for 1, 2, and 4 buttons, and obviously metal. And then you get this guy, but with the switch. So that's what the S is for. So if it's got -S, that means it comes with the PoE switch. Otherwise, -P comes with a power supply. And then we've got this guy over here. This guy is like our small Minmo facial recognition terminal, but now mainly used for intercom functionality. So you can open the door with your face, or you can use the intercom functionality inside the door station to contact the indoor station, and then obviously app from there if you'd like. So a nice upgrade to your intercom system, facial recognition to open up the gate. If your face is not in the system, then you can use the intercom functionality to contact the indoor station. All right. Okay, that is it for the intercoms that I wanted to introduce, just the product family. I'm going to go over to the alarms quickly, and then Damon will help and show us the operation of that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, all right, so let's quickly have a look at the alarms. So I'm going to quickly introduce the alarms, and then Damon can show us the operation of the video intercom. All right, so for the alarms, let's quickly have a look and see what the market is about and what they do, and where we fall into the market. So we're going to look at the market, ARC businesses, so it's your armed response company businesses, our solutions, as well as I'm going to do a product introduction of the different products that we've got. Okay, so the market introduction for the alarms. So it's still a big thing. A lot of us needs alarms and all those kind of things. So you can see that residential is probably the biggest, where we've got the biggest market, not just us, this is a global market for residential usage. So industrial, yes, makes it about 30%, and commercial and residential is about 70% of the alarm market. So still very, very popular to have an alarm system. And obviously, for obvious reasons, we know what that entails. But I'm going to show you how we fit into the alarm market. Okay, so we break it up into a DIY section, residential, commercial, and then solution-based. So this is like an enterprise type of alarm solutions. So we basically cater for these two sections, DIY, residential, and commercial. We do, however, venture into the solution with customized solutions for you. So it's not that we're not there at all. We do that, but that's on a customized basis. So you can see a couple of competitors and so forth, but this is where we fall in. So the DIY, so it's really that easy. You can buy the system, install it yourself, or you can get somebody professional to install it for you. But we fall mainly into these markets over here. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on costs and revenues and all those kind of things. All right, if we look at main on-response companies, there's a whole bunch of them over the country. So I'm not just looking at these. I'm not necessarily promoting them or whatever the case might be, but there's a whole bunch of on-response companies. I think some more well-known than others, but we work hand in hand with them to make sure that our alarm panels are integrated into the control rooms. All right, so just a quick idea of how the alarm market works and how connections and stuff work. I'm not going to go through all the descriptions. Basically, the end user, this could be your home, your business, your factory, your whatever, they will normally have like a radio built in or radio connected to the alarm panel that will send the information through to the radio base station. That might be on a high side or something, and then it gets reported back to either the control room itself or other sub-alarm or armed stations. Okay, so and then once they get a notification of maybe a panic or a trigger when it was armed or whatever, they could either then send out armed response or communicate with a third-party armed response to then respond to your event. All right, so how this basically works is two methods. All right, the first method that we're going to look at is radio and the GSM method, which is a traditional way of communicating back to your control rooms. So a couple of advantages and disadvantages. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but network environment. Because of high sites and all these things and interference, whatever, it's not always the best way. But when the network is up and running and it works good, it is a very stable system to use. All right, that means that you get 100% of your transmissions, of your events happening on your alarm panels and so forth. The disadvantage of this method is a limited information, right? You can only send so much over the GSM radio or the analog radio and so forth. So not a lot of information, and that basically means that we cannot transmit video, and that's where we come in. All right, so we've got an IP method mainly that we use, but I'm going to show you we do integrate with those as well. All right, so the IP method it means that you've got just normal network or internet connections, which makes more business or the possibility to get more business a viable solution. All right, advantages is that we provide more information like video and image verification and so forth because we're running IP. All right, so the expansion and integration possibilities are much higher to be able to do that. The disadvantage of this is unstable network. So maybe an interconnection or something like that could be unstable, which means no connection back to the control room. But we can also do a combination of both to make sure that it is redundant. So how it basically works, your alarm panel sends information to the radio for the analog signal, or it goes via IP, internet connection, or a direct WAN connection or something like that to the control room. Now, from this radio that's connected to your panel, that'll then send a signal to the radio base station or the GSM base station, and then it forwards it onto the control panel. And the control room. They will then receive that message, that information through Oryx or whatever, listener, watch manager. There's a couple of software applications available where they can then receive this information. All right, so the same thing goes for IP, although we're bypassing a few steps over there. All right, so that's just more or less how it works, but I'm going to show you what we do. Okay, so before we get there, false alarms. I think this is probably the biggest concern when it comes to alarms in whatever premises. And from market research and all those kind of things, we figured out that about 98% of all the alarms coming into a control room are false. All right, and I think that's the biggest problem. It wastes resources, it wastes manpower, and all those kind of things. So basically what happens, you get your alarm triggered, it's been sent to the center. The center cannot confirm because they just get a trigger. They have to send out a response vehicle to that just to find out that it has been a false alarm. The window's been left open, the cat jumped in or something like that. Okay, so it is still the case today. You know, this false alarm ratios, it is a big problem when it comes to that. So you're wasting a lot of resources. So how do we overcome this? Video verification. All right, so video verification means that you can visually confirm whether it's a real or false alarm. And if we look at market trends and all those kind of things, we can see that there is a big trend for video verification linked to your alarms coming through to the control room. All right, so that helps reduce a whole lot of false alarms, which basically reduces resources needed to respond and react and those kind of things. All right, so previously, the arm response company had to phone you, find out first, that's if they can get a hold of you, otherwise they send out a response vehicle. There are a lot of things happening in the background before they can actually confirm whether it's a false or real alarm. All right, so we need video verification or image verification at least to see what is happening there. All right, let's quickly have a look at our solutions. All right, so for the alarm solutions, we've got different kinds of panels. We've got from wireless to a full wire to a hybrid, all different kinds. We have already integrated with FSK communicators, like I showed you on the previous few slides. Already integrated into listener, into listener, and you also have the app functionality. All right, this is now for a professional solution. For your day-to-day and normal type of alarm usage, but then we also have project solutions. So project solutions, you use the same kind of alarm panels. Again, the full wireless, full wired, or the hybrid. It's a combination between wireless and wired. And we then send that information back to a backend system. So we can either go IVMS 4200, which is free software, or you can incorporate it into your HIC Central. To get the similar functionality with obviously alarms coming through and visual verification. All right, so basically how it works is you've got your alarm panels that could either be connected to these FSK radios, GSM or VHF, that will be send the information through to the base station, received in the control room, and then they do whatever is needed with that, obviously respond to that and so forth. You can also link IP cameras to your alarm system, which will give you the video verification. All right, that can be sent through to the mobile app or directly to the control room. Okay, and then the other way is to connect your devices through to an NVR. The NVR already has IP cameras, and you can monitor directly on your monitor. But again, this can then send information back to the control room again. So you can see there's various options, and you can even go for both options if you'd like to have redundancy, have your network connection, your internet connection, as well as your radio communication. All right, that creates a little bit of redundancy. Okay, so let's see what value these solutions bring to you. All right, so panel event transmission. Alarms and temporary events can be sent through life safety alarms. That'll include fire alarms and panic alarms and medical alarms and so forth. Maintenance and fault events, so that includes your AC power fail, low batteries, network problems, those kind of things that'll be sent through. Panel management notification, including arming and disarming events, so that'll be sent through to your control room. Video verification, now this is the big thing. Video verification to confirm whether you have real alarms or false alarms. All right, so what we do as a standard, send a 7-second video clip. That basically means it's 5 seconds before the actual trigger and 2 seconds after the trigger. So you get the full video clip through to your control room, into listener already, and obviously to your mobile app as well to be able to verify that it is a real alarm or it is just the cat again. All right, so every video clip is bound to relevant alarm events, which means that if I call up a certain alarm event, I can see the video clip as well. So security company has no access, all right? So they have no access to view your cameras without having an alarm trigger coming through. All right, so they cannot sit in the control room and monitor all your cameras and those kind of things. They only get a visual once there's an alarm trigger. Okay. An alarm panel integrated with the NVR provide a complete alarm solution for existing CCTV. So you're basically expanding your CCTV system with an alarm system, but it's still video related or integrated. Management control, panic alarms to show the geographical location of the user, which means that you can plot it onto your eMap, you know exactly where it happens. Control output relay to open your gate or other devices. So that can be done with via the relay outputs. Panel, zone, partition, status display of surveillance system health can also be monitored from the control room. and full management and configuration through web browser or even your mobile app. And I think that's where it comes in. The mobile app, eConnect, you can use to configure your whole alarm system. You don't have to use a PC and link to the network and open up web browsers and all those things. You just do it from your mobile app. All right, so Hikvision and listener integration. So again, if we look at market share and so forth, Oryx, which is the owner or developer of Listener, the software package used in a lot of control rooms, we found that they have over 70% market share in control rooms. So the majority of us in South Africa uses, or the guys in the control rooms uses Listener. Not all of them, but about 70% of control rooms uses Listener for the alarm response companies. Okay, IP-based events. Transmission of video verification. So we will send to Listener, to your control room, we will send these 7-second video clips, like I mentioned, which means that in Oryx, in Listener software, they will get your alarm, plus they will get the video clip, which means that they can confirm whether it's a real or false alarm. And doing that and knowing that, they can put more resources into real alarms and not be bothered by a whole bunch of false alarms. And we saw earlier, the false alarms make up about 98% of all the alarms coming into a control room. So imagine, eliminating 98% of your alarms coming in. Well, not eliminating them, but not having to respond to each and every one of them will free up the alarm response companies' resources and make it much more productive to only respond to the real alarms. Okay. Our alarm panels is also the only alarm panel with video verification in Listener. All right, so it makes it very, very powerful. All right, here's a quick little video that I want to show you, just for Listener, the interface into Listener, video on the left-hand side there, just to quickly show you how it comes through.
Live video for other channels, so we can support 32, but it's not realized by the Hikvision.
So mobile app also available.
See it on Hikvision.
Yes. Comes through to Listener.
Everyone is live video.
That's fun. I mean, we have to avoid now. I don't want
Yeah, I think is.
There's a video verification.
Primary
to confirm that it's a real alarm or not. Okay, so that is great because they can now confirm whether it's a real alarm or not directly into Listener. Okay, so the FSK integration that we've done, that's with the FSK radios, so both the GSM and the VHF communicator, so let's call it the analog and the IP, not the IP version, the GSM version. So our alarm panels have been integrated with or connected to this via serial port. This will send your radio signal or your GSM signal to the base station, maybe a repeater of some kind, or through your service providers and so on, received by the multi-router and then via serial port back onto their machine. So this integration has already been done. And FSK has been identified as the #1 alarm communicator manufacturer in Africa. And that's why the integration has already been done with them. Okay. Now, for our intrusion, let's quickly have a look at what it is about and what we can offer you. All right, so having a look at this, like I mentioned, from hybrid panels to wireless panels to full wired. So these are your wired panels there. This is the hybrid panel. This is the full wireless panel. We've got 2 frequencies available, although in South Africa, we standardize on the 868 frequency, right, just because of congestion and all those kind of things on the 433s. Detectors, we've got, again, a whole bunch of detectors from wired to wireless detectors. And again, we standardize on the 868s. And we have both indoor and outdoor detectors. We can look at that a little bit later, a little bit more in detail. Then the accessories, from keypads to sirens to key fobs to whatever, repeaters for the wired panels and so forth, all also available. And then on the software side, he connected the mobile app, the IVMS 4200, the free software, and also the HIC Central control room software already integrated. So a complete solution for the alarm panels or the intrusion detection. All right, so we've got the AX hub, which is completely wireless. This goes up to 32 zones, supports both GPRS, Wi-Fi. You can put in a network cable into it. And then we also have 3G and 4G options. So SIM card capability in case they maybe disconnect your network infrastructure, your internet or something like that. built-in SIM card or you can put in a SIM card in the unit itself to have that as your communication. Then we have the AX hybrid system. So the hybrid is both wired and wireless, or both technologies, between 4 and 20 zones, depending on what you need. We've got the plastic version and we've got a metal version. The metal version goes from 8 to 64 8 to 64 zones. So quite a big expansion on that one there. All right, so our wireless family received the EN grade 2 level. That's European grade 2 level for intrusion detection, and needed to pass that. So we've got those certifications to make sure that it is proper. So we've got both from your normal detectors to triple technology detectors and so forth. Door contacts for both frequencies, so both the 433 and the 868s. ICASA approved already for all the wireless devices, so it's safe and safe to use in South Africa and legal to use in South Africa because we do have the ICASA certification on them. Okay, so from siren options to keypad, tag readers, key fobs, all those kind of things, input-output expanders. So this is the wireless system. If you already have some wired detectors maybe installed, we've got input-output expanders that will, you can connect to those wired devices to these guys, and this will do a wireless connection back to the alarm panel. All right, then we've got the wired family. So this is all wired. So from the hybrid panels, we again have a whole series of detectors and sirens and interfaces and so forth, and also expanders. So the expanders gives us the capability to go much further distances, which I will talk about a little bit later. All right, so existing product segmentation. We're looking at the pro market and the entry-level markets. So the AX Hub, the 32 zone, this guy here is so easy and friendly to use. And like I mentioned earlier, you can do it from your app. Or if you don't want to use your app, there's a little button on the side with voice prompts, and it tells you exactly what to do. So very, very nice and easy to use. And then we've got the entry market, which is the hybrid panels and so forth, with different detectors and all those kind of things. I'm not going to go into too much detail into all these kind of things, but already compatible with, or we already have a whole range of detectors and panels for the entry-level market as well. All right, so the alarm panel, just a quick comparison. Again, I'm not going to go through all the details, but basically the full wireless, the AX Hub, 32 wireless zones, the hybrid panel, 4 onboard and 16 wired and wireless can be expanded to that. That's for the input side, and obviously the AX hybrid panel, the larger one, 8 onboard and 56 expansions. On the output side, also 32 wireless outputs here, 2 onboard, 18 extra, 4 onboard, and 60 extra on that side there. And then obviously keypads and key fobs and tags and all those kind of things can be added. Partitioning levels, so up to 4 partitions there, 4 partitions there, and 8 partitions on the larger one there. Up to 64 channels, like we mentioned. And I think this is the important thing here. So for the AX Hub, you can import up to 2 OnVIF IP cameras. So Hikvision cameras or any other OnVIF compatible camera can be imported into the panel for your video verification. The same goes for the hybrid panel over there, and for the larger panels there, up to 4 IP cameras. So that's the 5 seconds plus 2 seconds. You can see 5 seconds before the trigger, 2 seconds after the trigger for your video verification. And multiple ways of communication. So from your LAN to Wi-Fi, 3G, 4G, and so forth, SMSs and calls can also be done from all of them. The nice thing about the programming is it can happen from the software, which is a 4200 or HIC Central. You can use your mobile app, your HIConnect app, to program these devices, as well as use web interfaces, and that's the same throughout, making it very easy to configure. All right, so that is it for the intercom and alarms. So I'm going to hand over to Damon to quickly show us the operation side of the video intercoms. So Damon, are you there? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll show. Yes, I'm ready. I'll show the live demo for our showroom, and it will include all the devices currently.
Perfect.
Okay, let me just share the start the video. Can you open the video function for me?
Oh, sorry. 1 sec.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, Raymond, it's done now.
Hello, everyone. Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Here we have two live demo here. This picture is our 2nd-generation video intercom for the module door station. This our module door station. Also, this our indoor station. This one is our villa door station and one indoor station. So this totally 2 solutions, one for villa and one for the apartment. So here I will first show you the villa door station. I'll push the button and then it will call the indoor station. We can answer it or reinforce it. Here we can use it to unlock the door. It will pop up, door is open. And then we can answer it such as this. And we can talk with the people stand before the villa door station. Hello? Such as this. Also, we can take a picture such as this. We'll just hand up it. This one is our door bill. And it has one button. I will just press the door bill. It will pop up like this, and then when refills, and we can also answer it.
The subscriber you dial is busy now. Please dial later.
If we not answer it, we can also live view the door station. We can click live view, and we can go into the live view page. Here we can also unlock the door.
Door is open.
And we can also communicate with the door station. Also for the door bill, we can also live view the door bill. We can also leave the door bill camera. Also, we can unlock the door and we can answer it.
Door is open.
This function for the villa door station. Later, I will show you how to configuration about the villa door station. The second picture will see the apartment door station. This is our module door station. We can see this is the main module for our door station. It has a camera. Also, we can save card here. Also, this is the tag. We can such as here we just name the room 1, room 2. We can name any room we want. This just the tag module for our door station. Here is the swipe card module. This is the keypad module. So this module you can choose which module you want. Here I'll show you the results. Such as if we press room 1, let's see, the room 1 will be pop up. Because we sit two door station. One is main door station. Another one is the extension. So when we press room 1, all of the indoor station will hang up. Will show the live view for the door station. And if such as if we answer one, the other one will be not answered. Because the distance is very close, so we'll hear that noisy answer, noisy sound. Such as if we press room 2, this is the room 2, and we can also answer it, hang up it. Also, we can unlock the door.
The door is open.
Meanwhile, we can also use this keypad module to call the door station, such as we press 1 dash. All the doors, the room 1 will be shown, and then you just hang up it. Another thing is for the Windows station and the extension, they can call each other. Such as if we want to call the extension, I just press I just dash 0 dash 1. The extension they can call each other. You just name it chicken or Windows station. They can call each other. If we want the extension call extension 1 call the Windows station, we just press 0-0. It will also call each other. Also, this the main live demo for the Windows Videocom. For this part, do you have some question?
哎呀，我操，搜搜，开心死我了！
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Damon. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you very much. I think what I'd like to just mention there as well, instead of having to remember 0-1 and 1-1 and 0-0, all those things, you can set up an address book with a person's name next to it. So instead of having to remember numbers and all those kind of things, you can just dial a person's name instead from the address book. So that makes it easier and more convenient to use. If you guys have any questions, please pop them into the Q&A box and we will gladly answer them.
Okay, and then let me just show you how to configuration. Just wait a moment, I will go to the upstairs.
Okay, while Damon is going upstairs to get to his 4200 machine, you can also configure the unit from the indoor station, from the screen. You can configure everything right from there. So it makes it also convenient. Your technician doesn't have to take a laptop to the site or anything like that, or if the laptop battery is flat or whatever, you can use the indoor station screen, the monitor, to configure the whole system if you'd like to do it from there. But Damon's going to show us the 4200 configuration, which is also fairly simple to use.
Okay, today I will show you the VLAN station and the indoor station configuration pattern. Let me just share my screen for you. How do that? Okay, can you see the screen for the?
Yes, we can see your 4200, Damon.
Yeah, 4200 software.
Yes, we
can see it.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Actually, when we first get a device, we can search the device here on the SATP. We should activate the device first and make sure the device in the same local network, such as I stated the indoor station as 192.0.0.100 and the VLAN station as 192.0.0.101. So
Damon,
just to
sorry.
make sure they are just, yeah.
I think maybe because of different windows in the 4200, maybe just stop sharing the 4200 and then maybe share your desktop screen instead.
Okay.
I think that'll be better for Zoom use. There we go. Now we can see. Yes.
Okay. When we get a device, the device must be deactivated. Must be the one which inactivated. So we need to activate the device first. Such as for the device I just activated before, and then we need to set the device in the same local network, such as I stated the indoor station as 192.0.100 and the VLAN station as 192.0.1.0.1. So those two devices are in the same local network. And then we go to the 4200 software. Can you see now? Oh, sorry.
No, we cannot
okay.
see.
Okay.
So before you're sharing the 4200 screen, just maybe rather share your whole screen to that. So in Zoom, there's a function to share the whole screen.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, I just added to the device to the 4200 software. Actually, we have two ways to set this. One way is we can set by the device itself. The second way is we can set on the 4200 software. For me, I first show you we can add the device to the 4200 software. This indoor station and this door station. Okay, first we click the remote configuration. Go to the Villa door station configuration page. It will pop up like this. And then we can see the device info. Normally, if the device firmware is too old, you can update it first. But you can see all the information here. And then we go to the intercom. You can see the ID configuration for the device type, and this is the project number and the community number, building number, floor number, and index. This you just set as the real project need. And then we go to the DEL. Here we can see because the device what we use is KV82. 2 means it has two buttons, which means it can control two rooms. So the key number has 2, 1 and 2. So if we choose the 1, we can set the code number such as 1. If we choose 2, we can set the code number 2. This just the number you can set what you want. But we should make sure the number should be same on the indoor station. Such as here we can set we can call the manager center, and we can also call the indoor station. If we choose call manager center and then save, which means the Villa door station. If we press the Villa door station button, it will call the manager center. I just press it. We can see the result. You can see if we click call manager center, it will be show here, not show on the indoor station. And then we can answer on the software side, just answer or maybe hang up. Here we just click answer. Hello. We can see we can talk with the Villa door station, and then we can also hang up. Another is we can choose the normally we use if we don't have the software, we just choose call indoor station and then save. If we press the button, the Villa door station will be called the indoor station. Just what we see in the understairs. So this the door station setting up, and then we go to the indoor station. In the indoor station, here we can also see the device info, and then we go to the intercom and ID patcher. We can choose the device type, indoor station or indoor extension. As we all know, for our indoor station, we support 1 main station and 5 extension, which means if we have we have 6 rooms in our house, we can install 6 indoor station. One indoor station we just state indoor station. Another indoor station we just state their model as indoor extension. For the indoor station, we can state actually you can see it have 1-5, which means we can support 5 indoor extension. here we just set this device as indoor station, and then call number we just set 1, and floor number just set 1. Actually, this number same if you look, it is just the same as the villa dot station what we set before. And in this way, we can make sure the villa dot station can call the indoor station. For the indoor station, we can set 1 and maybe save. If we save, the device will be rebooted. After reboot, it will be effect. If not reboot, it cannot be effect. Maybe you can also set 2 to 5, such as this. In the light demo, we show the indoor station can call the indoor extension. We just maybe press the dash button and input 0, 1. It will be called the indoor extension 1. If we push 0-2, it will call the indoor extension 2, such as this. If the extension 1 want to call the indoor station, we just press 0-0. It will call the indoor station. I think this patch is just used for the configuration for the villa dot station and the indoor station. I don't know if you have some question for those configuration. Actually, if you have the real project, you can ask us, and we can send maybe some how-to for you. Also, can get you how to use it.
Yeah, it is quite easy to use and to configure, Damien, like you showed us now. I think there were some of the drop-down menus that we could not see in the 4200. It looks like Zoom doesn't quite like our 4200 drop-down menus, but it was fairly simple to understand and to use. And like I mentioned earlier, you can also do all these configurations you can do from the indoor station, from the monitor. You can do it right from there also. But you saw how easy it is to do, easy it is to set up. It is fairly simple. If you guys have any questions, please put them into the Q&A box. And then please let us know so we can answer those questions. And like Damon said, if you have a project where you need to install and use these intercoms, you're more than welcome to contact us. We can send you a quick how-to guide and possibly help you remotely or on-site to do the commissioning of this. All right, guys, that concludes it for today's sales and operation training. Thank you very much for joining. Like I said, we will have the Q&A box open, so I'm going to keep the Zoom link open for another 5 or so minutes until we've answered all the questions. Thank you very much once again for joining us, and I hope you have a good weekend.
Yeah, hope you have a good weekend. If you have questions, just put in the Q&A chat box, and we can answer it.
One more thing, the video recordings for all these webinars that we've held is now being uploaded to YouTube. So if you haven't received the link that I sent out last night, please send me an email. I will send it again to you. So each and every video will be uploaded to YouTube maybe today or early in the next week, so that you have got one link to visit to see all the previous recorded videos and so on.